Shall I try to share?
I don't know why. Sorry, we don't hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Share. Absolutely okay. But you can start. Thank you. Welcome.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone.
Could you increase sound? One minute. Okay, please, you can start.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone.
Perfectly.
What? Could you hear me?
Yes, everything is okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you, German, for your introduction. So, my name is Jyri Rajamäki, and I come from Laurea University of Applied Sciences, Helsinki, Finland. And the topic of my presentation is SAPES project pilots self-assessment for trustworthy artificial intelligence. And this paper is based on a study that I'm carrying on for the SAPES Horizon 2020 project. The content of my presentation is that first there is an orientation on why we have made this study. And after that, we talk about the research aim and methodology. That methodology is a multi-case study. And then the web tool, Olatai, okay, it moves too fast, I think. Let's go back. We looked at web tool Olatai. Then finally we looked at self-evaluation results and cross-case analysis and look at the future research needs. So, as we know, the population ages and care for the elderly will face new challenges as the demand for care increase, and that SAPES Horizon 2020 project intends to build, pilot and deploy a large-scale EU standardized open platform. The integration of a broad range of technological, organizational, clinical, educational and societal solutions seeks to facilitate long-term healthy and activity aging on the maintenance of high-quality standards of life. And technology in home and local community environments interact with the health and care network, contributing to the reduction of health and care cost, hospitalization and institutional care. And that the SAPES Horizon 2020 project, it has an pan-European pilot campaign divided into 7 pilot teams, which are listed in this slide. These pilots, they engage over 2,000 older individuals, caregivers and care service providers in 36 pilot activities conducted in 15 pilot sites across 11 European countries. And each pilot activity will run in cycles of co-creation and co-design, moving them to the co-experimentation, to co-development and the co-execution, which will all be jointly evaluated. And as the final purpose of this study is to reduction of AI-based risks of health and well-being services for the elderly. And for achieving its goal, this study presents the evaluation methodology for trustworthy AI self-evaluation of the SHAPES pilots and offers the results of individual self-evaluations, carries out some kind of cross-case conclusions of these results which are available, and proposes future research needs. And the methodological what is applied in this study is a multiple case study by which we can analyze the data within each SHAPES pilot themes and across different themes. The 7 SHAPES pilot themes each represents one individual case, each of which is first self-evaluated. Then cross-case analysis is made to understand the similarities and differences between the cases and to find out further research needs. But unfortunately, the self-evaluation of all pilots have not yet been completed. Therefore, we are not able to make a final conclusions, and as that figure that slide shows, there is that future work marked there in the right down to that, so that we have quite many results already, but we should continue when the rest of the pilots are ready. So because this is an ongoing project that SHAPES. An assessment list for trustworthy artificial intelligence time has been developed by the high-level expert group of artificial intelligence, and it consists of these 7 well-known clusters of requirements that it is an operational tool for self-evaluation. It is an interactive web tool, and it generates more detailed questions based on the previous answers. And after the questions in each section, a self-assessment is performed on a 5-level assessment scale. And this slide shows one example of this 5-level self-assessment. So that was that orientation and methodology part, and then let's look the results that are available so far. And let's the pilot 1, the self-assessment is not ready, so let's look at pilot 2, improving in-home and communication-based care. The self-assessment in that evaluation theme, human agency and oversight, it's in process, so the results of that area is not available. So far, the best assessment results are given for the themes transparency, diversity, non-discrimination, and fairness, and that societal and environmental well-being. However, development recommendations have also been found for these areas. As the list on the right side shows, okay, the list is so long and so small text that believe that you can't read it that, but in paper some of these recommendations mentioned more. So, and then there are so many these recommendations that we have no time to look this so detailed, but that is that LTA tool, it gives that the self-assessment results as that kind of figure, and then generates recommendations based on the answers what been given there. That pilot 3 medicine control and optimization, the best health assessment results are given for the team human agency and oversights and transparency. And the sub area that has collected most recommendation is that diversity, non-discrimination, and fairness. Even it has scored as good as a 3.7. Best is 5, but still there are so many recommendations which we can. It's good to have a recommendation. It's answering to responding these recommendations is a good way to make these systems better. Then that pilot team 5 it deals with one or more aspects covering the delivery of care to older persons with neurocognitive disorders such as dementia and cognitive impairment from the perspective of care recipients and caregivers. And this pilot team investigates the improvement of the quality of care and the quality of life of both those received care and caregivers in home environments. And the self-assessment results look this. What is the best? 1, 2, 3, 4. It is transparency and diversity, non-discrimination and fairness, and privacy and data governance. I've got that full 5 points. But still, as you see, there are recommendations. Then the last pilot 7, deals with cross-border health data exchange and its self-assessment results look like this. And so this was the individual results, and when putting these together, the figure on left combines the available self-assessment results of the SAPES pilot teams. And the best results is obtained from the evaluation point transparency, and the worst from technical robustness and safety. And when looking the number of recommendations generated by LTA, we can see that requirement cluster diversity, non-discrimination, and fairness gets most number of recommendations. And the other half, that evaluation area, privacy and data governance, there is a least number of recommendation, and I believe that that GDPR has some effect on that, so that when law comes, it makes development happening. So when looking at these conclusions, that are they, it provides easily and basic evaluation process for trustworthy artificial intelligence self-evaluation. It's good tool, easy to use, and it is best to complete by involving multidisciplinary team of people from within your organization and outside of organization and from different competencies. When looking at SAPE's pilot self-assessment, that OT itself gives recommendations for each pilot separately for the pilot's own use. What I have learned, it's not easy to get these numbers and recommendations out from that. At least I have not found a tool for that, and it's so far handmade job. And when looking at future work, so there is still missing these self-assessment results of 3 individual pilots. Means to combine these results and make a better cross-case analysis. And the final target of this study is developing mitigation recommendations. So that was that. Thank you for your attention. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Yuri Rajamäki, for your very interesting presentation. It's very hot topics, application of AI-based system for health application and so on. And now we have time for questions. Any questions, please? We have offline participants as well. Hence, we can ask it by chat or by offline possibility. Okay. Any questions, please? I have short question. You talked about different characteristics of AI-based system and analyzed weights of different characteristics AI quality. What about ethics issue for such kind of systems? Because when we talk about health system and providing of health services, aspect of ethics is very important. You thought more about, not about technical realization. You thought about more organizational issues. Yes. Hence, my question is about ethics as one of the main characteristics of such kind of AI-based systems.
No, ethics is because these question lists, they are based on that high-level expert group of artificial intelligence, and they present different perspectives of ethics. What is that oversight of AI? Then this privacy and data governance. It's very important ethical thing like transparency and that diversity, non-discrimination and fairness. So ethics is behind all of these different questions that all the tool gives.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions, for your answer. And we have two close questions from our online participants. The first one, Alexei Neretin, is Altai application a beta version or production-ready product?
I'm sure, but we have used that beta version. The last what is September, October when we did that, and then only that beta version was available. And then, okay, there is that another question at what is the goal and purpose of that LTA tool. It's operational tool helping to making that self-assessment. How can I say? It's very easy to use, and then you can go through all these 7 requirements of that artificial intelligence high-level expert group requirements.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Please, Professor Peter Popov offline. Peter, please here. Yes, it would be better.
Thank you. Interesting talk. But if I understood correctly, the graphs that you showed at the end of your presentation, the assessment done by different people, they don't really agree. So it's not uncommon that if you involve experts in some evaluation, the opinions, the experts disagree. But how can you reconcile, or is there the need to reconcile the views, or if they are violently different, then what you can say about these different aspects of the self-assessment that these people have conducted? Can you elaborate on these findings?
Yeah, okay. What can I say? No, of course, different people have different opinions, but our target as ethical evaluators is to just give recommendations. All the service providers, they are responsible for their own products and services, and but in that SAPES project, we will give recommendations how they could improve their services, so that all these ethical aspects are taken into account.
Thank you. I don't see other question. Hence, let's thank Dr. Yuri Rayamaki for your presentation. Thank you very much, and hope we can continue cooperation in this area, because there are a lot of different characteristics, and I don't show that now there is stable standards concerning AI characteristics and AI system assessment as well. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you. I'm waiting for that cooperation.
Okay, thank you.